So we found there was not a lot of information about young adults ages 18 to 25 and their understanding of risk perceptions and basic understanding of diabetes. So this was something we felt like was worth researching more. And we did this through a survey that was distributed on Facebook. And we basically asked young adults, when given a list, for example, of risk factors for diabetes, to mark all of the things they thought were risk factors. And we did this with risk factors, complications of diabetes, prevention methods, um, treatment management, and potential complications. We also had them mark where they received their diabetes information and from how many sources. We had 62 total responses. We didn't have a lot of ethnic diversity, but we did have a good mix of male, female, and different education levels. We saw that on average, young adults receive this information from about 2.7 sources, so about three sources. Um, and there was no difference between men and women in this sense, but there was a difference with those with a bachelor's degree or higher. They received their information from more sources on average than those with only a high school diploma or some college. So here you can see the different places, the different information sources, and the amount of people that said they got information from them. And as far as recognizing other diabetes information, we found that the respondents were able to identify at least 50% of the diabetes factors presented to them. And here you can see the average number identified of the different categories. So overall, this is positive because it's showing that young adults do understand diabetes is a serious thing that has complications. They understand that it's preventable and they understand what puts people at risk. Um, this was, and this is a good thing because we know if people understand they're at risk, it's going to help them make behavior changes. Additionally, we learned that if young adults on average are only getting their information from three sources, those sources of information are going to be very influential. About a third of all the information they know is coming from one place. So that was something interesting to explore. And finally, one limitation of this study was we didn't have a lot of ethnic diversity, so we couldn't do any data analysis on that subgroup of the population. It's something that should be looked into more because ethnic minorities usually are at a higher risk of developing diabetes, so they're at an at-risk population that needs some attention. But overall, positive results. There was no difference between men and women or in education levels, so we're not seeing disparities in this understanding of diabetes throughout the population of young adults, which is really a good thing.